Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one. Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. On bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy. Yeah.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family Gradunzo.
Mamma mia.
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number 4, armbar.
I will never retire.
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
Alright, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Monday. You know what that means. It's time for the Impact Zone. Joining me, of course, to go over everything Impact for the week, the regular Jay. How are you, Jay?
I'm not too bad, Greg. How are you?
Yeah, I'm all right, considering, still getting over the chest infection that I had, and the car stuff that I had happen last week has left me in the hole. But that's life,
That's
right?
exactly right.
It'd be nice if we had a great episode of Impact to discuss to bring me out
That's
of it.
what I was just about to bring up. I was about to say, at least you've had a better week than Impact.
Yeah. Look, I mean, to be fair, I don't think this week was that bad. But at this point, I mean, I'm grading them on a sliding scale. Like it's tough. It definitely. I mean, the Twitch viewership was down again. We haven't got ratings yet, but for the first week that they went to Pursuit, the ratings, we didn't get ratings for that either because the ratings were too low for them to show up on the listings. So that's a good sign.
Not really. Means no one's watching.
Yeah. Well, 10,000 people watched last week on Twitch at least. So, but I guess we should just dive in and break down the show, and then there's like one little piece of news that I came across afterwards. But it's a pretty slow news week for Impact too.
No, it's been like that for ages. No new signings, nothing.
No, and it's weird because we're seeing like WWE are throwing out contracts like crazy, Ring of Honor are throwing out contracts like crazy, MLW are signing guys, All Elite Wrestling obviously are signing guys, and Impact are just like the only news we've had from Impact are people leaving.
Yeah,
right?
Well, that's it. Every week, any person leaves, so who knows?
Like Trevor Lee was the most recent one to leave. He just did his last date at PWG, and he's headed for WWE.
I think he's going to struggle there.
Yeah. I don't know if All Elite Wrestling were in touch with him or not, but they're the only guys I would trust with booking Trevor Lee.
Yeah, like I think WWE are going to book him very poorly, as he wasn't used much in Impact, so...
Yeah, I don't even think he'll do well in NXT, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's what I mean, like... I don't know. It's a weird decision to sign there, but,
Yeah, but he left old mate Caleb Conley high and dry, right? There used to be Colt of Lee, now it's just Caleb Conley, and he's out there getting punished for his mate leaving. He's out there to do the job
Cult of Caleb.
in the opening match. KM and Fala Bar start the show, they come out. He doesn't even get an entrance, good old Caleb Conley. He's just already in the ring.
Yeah, well, this is a bit, it's been a while since we've seen KM and Falabar too, so.
Yeah, oh, they've done like little backstage bits, right? Like with Scarlett and stuff.
Yeah, but like in the ring.
Yeah, definitely. But we don't see much because something is going on. And we cut backstage with,
Brian Cage destroying everyone.
Yeah, just destroying everyone. And old mate James Matthews just getting overly excited about it. Like, okay, we get it. Like, something's going on. He's coming this way. And so at this point, I want to point out that the show started with 4,500 people watching, whereas last week it started with 6,500 people watching. So to begin with, they're already down 2,000 people to start the show.
Not good news.
No, and it stays that way throughout the night. So Cage is on a rampage, and he comes out looking for... He attacked Johnny Bravo, right? The referee from Homecoming.
I don't see... Why did he come to the ring, but like, it makes no sense why he came to the ring and attacked everyone.
Well, he was saying, "Where's Johnny? Where's Johnny?" Right?
No, I'm sure Falabar's going to know where Johnny is, but
no, he was saying, "Where's Johnny?" And someone backstage was like, "He's out there." And so the assumption is the guy backstage either was just terrified and so sent him out there, or the guy backstage thought he was asking where Johnny Bravo was, not Johnny Impact.
Yeah.
And so he sent him out there, and then he attacks Johnny Bravo. So I think that's what they were going for. They're like, the guy thought it was Johnny Bravo he was looking for, so he pointed him to the ring because that's where Johnny Bravo was, right? Johnny Impact wasn't out there. And then he attacks Johnny Bravo, and then he gets on the mic, and he's pissed off. And you know what? Rightfully so.
That's because he was promised a title shot, and Cross got it.
Yeah. So last week we talked about it, right? Like, Johnny Impact not really being much of a fighting champion, being like, "Oh, I'm too concerned with this Killer Cross thing," and so he had a match with Killer Cross last week, and then he was like, "I promise you, though, you'll get the first title shot," and now Killer Cross gets a title shot next week in Mexico. Yeah. So Cage has every right to be pissed off.
Oh yeah, makes sense. But yeah, it was a bit weird to start the show. Like, I would have preferred KM to win or something,
and then have it happen.
Yeah,
I can see that. It was just it was
weird to start the show like that, but.
Well, I mean, I think they're going for the Attitude Era, for the, anything can happen, but then it's kind of killed, at least for me, like I'm watching on, like the whole thing with the Attitude Era with the anything can happen was everything was live, right?
Yeah, and this is all pre-taped.
And not only that, but the second they go to, I mean, first off, there was a really clear edit, right? Because he was like, "Oh, Cross gets a shot in Mexico City." Well, if that ain't a bunch of, right? Like, he obviously swore, and they edited and cut around it, and you could clearly see where they'd edited it.
Yeah.
And so, like, that was bad.
Shoot doesn't like swearing.
Yeah, I guess. But then, they're okay with stripping, but then they go to ad, right? They go to ad, and on Twitch, Josh Matthews pops up. And he's watching live with us in the Twitch. He's like, "I'm in the Twitch, and every ad I'm going to pop up," and he's up on Skype, and he gets progressively more and more tired throughout the night, because you got to remember it's airing at 10 p.m. there, so it goes from 10 p.m. till midnight.
So in other words, Josh Matthews is a girl.
Well, no, you're talking about a workaholic guy. Like, he's probably up at 4:30 in the morning, going to the gym, going to work, like, getting ready for the day. And so, he was getting progressively more and more tired. At one point, he showed us his cats. But it was weird. It was weird because we're watching this show, and it contrasts, like, the whole anything can happen, but clearly this is pre-taped because the guy who's supposedly at ringside calling the action is at home with his cats on a Friday night watching it with us.
Oh, God. Impact.
It kills the vibe for me. I get what they're getting at, and it's really cool that they have those bits of interaction with the fans. Like, Jordan Grace was in the chat as well, Don Callis. But it just kills it for me. It
does with me as well, because you can tell with when they used to do the commentary that was taped over. Sort of the same thing.
Yeah, and it was, like, really badly dubbed.
So, yeah.
Yeah, no. So, I guess so. We go to an ad break there, and at this point, we're up to 6,800 viewers. Where last time around, going into the first ad break, they were at 8,000. So again, we're lagging behind last week, which is to be expected because last week was like a premiere, right? It was like the debut. Yeah. So then Eli Drake, we come back with Eli Drake on commentary. Let me talk to you.
Eli Drake's amazing.
Yeah, he was, although he's too amazing, like he distracted too much from the match.
Yeah, this actually, I was looking forward to this match, and it felt a bit off.
Yeah, so it was Eddie Edwards versus All Ego Ethan Page. I love Ethan Page, by the way.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. He's got
so much potential.
He did have an interview as well saying that he wanted to become the face of Impact by the end of the year. So
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Don't know if I'd put my faith in the booking committee, but
yeah, I don't think he's going to stick around, to be honest. Once Impact.
He was part of All In.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So he's always got AEW to call on, and I'd say WWE will probably come calling as well.
I reckon if he gets his body a bit, because he's a little bit pudgy, let's be honest.
Yeah, but yeah,
he doesn't have the best wrestler body, and WWE are all about that.
Well, Kevin Owens doesn't have a wrestling body.
Well, doesn't he? Have you seen the pictures of him lately? He's slimming down.
Yeah, maybe he's coming back for a big return. But no,
it's interesting though because when they get signed to NXT, they're living in Orlando and they're going to this performance center, 5 days a week as a full-time job,
so they've got to train
and working out. Like it becomes their job to work out. So, I don't know what Cassius Ohno's excuse is, but theoretically, if Ethan Page was to sign, he would end up looking like EC3 eventually.
Yeah, but
yeah,
he's a future. If Impact stick around, he's a future of this company. So, he's really good.
Yeah.
But it was weird. DQ finish for it.
Yeah, Eddie just decides to use Kenny for some reason. Also, that
I suppose it's a way to keep not make Ethan Page look weak by taking a pinfall loss, and it sort of progresses a storyline of Eddie Edwards and Eli Drake.
Yeah, I think it was more the latter. I don't think they're really concerned with keeping Ethan Page strong at the moment. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. But, I think it was more the latter. They wanted to advance that story with Eli Drake, and Eli Drake gets on the stick, and he's like, if you just ate a few more pancakes and drank a few more beers, you'd look just like Tommy Dreamer, right? And he's not wrong. So...
Yeah, well, that's true.
But he talks about, what does he talk like? Eddie, used to be a fantastic wrestler. Asks him, maybe it's time for you to don those green tights again.
Yeah, because he sees a loser in Eddie Edwards now. Because he looks a bit like Dreamer.
Yeah. He says he looks like a loser, and that's a fact of life. Like, he does his whole fact of life bit, and he leaves. Now, at this point, we're at 7,500 viewers. As we go into the ads, every time we go into the ads, the views spike up by about 500. So, here's my theory. There are 500 people watching on Pursuit, and they all don't want to watch ads, so they come on to watch Josh Matthews during the ad break. That's my theory.
That could be what it is.
So
could be anything. After that killer promo by Eli Drake, we get Callahan talking about the importance of family, and Swan. It's Swan's time to come home to her. Man, I really struggle with that word. I don't know what it is.
You always struggle saying Ohio. Just see what
Ohio. There we go.
Ohio.
I don't know what it is. All the time.
There's a lot of vowels. There's a lot of vowels in there, and it's very late.
Yeah, so I still don't know what that is, what that's about, because Swan isn't from there, so...
No, he's not from Ohio, and they're not telling us what's going on, but yeah, he wants Rich Swann to come home, so... Unless he's speaking, figuratively, like he's like, you could have a home with us. You've wandered all this time, and you've been homeless, essentially, and now, if you were to be with us, you could finally have a home. But then Rich actually looks like he's considering it at times, which is weird to me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like, what reason does Rich Swann have to actually consider this as a character?
Yeah, he's not going to fit in OVE as well. OVE remind me of, a pack of, guys that live in Junkieville. They put off that character. they live in the side
Yeah,
streets.
well,
and
that's
stuff.
it, right?
Like, that's
absolutely.
sort of the guys that they put off to me. And Rich Swann doesn't really appeal to me with that.
Like, they're talking about, having a home, but you presume that the home has, like, piss-soaked mattresses on the floor and, like, one couch that a dog has partially eaten.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And it sort of does make sense for Rich Swann to join them.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go to your home, man. I have these really cool ski goggles. I'll probably get rolled walking through meth territory.
I've got this big mansion.
Yeah, I got WWE money, man. I only just left there. I'm still fresh.
So yeah, it confuses me. If we had a backstory to it, like I'd understand a bit more. But
I'm gonna assume we're gonna get there. I hope we're gonna get there.
Give us the backstory straight away so we know what they're talking about.
I want to know what happened to storytelling in Impact, because leading into Slammiversary, we were praising the storytelling so much, and everything every week was making sense from week to week, and they were telling solid stories that had a direction, and you could, it was open-ended where it could go. We were always being like, I don't know where they're going with this, and it was exciting. But they've kind of just started doing swerves for the sake of swerves. They've started just sort of, throwing things at the wall to see if it sticks, and it doesn't feel like the same people are writing it. So I don't know what's happened with the creative
it's very
team.
lazy booking, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. So then he switches his attention, though, to LAX and says that, their family are going to come out on top of LAX. So Ohio, they've got the main event, OVE versus LAX. So then we get Ali versus Jordan Grace. And Ali, of course, is still being accompanied by Su Yung. And Jordan Grace has Kiera Hogan with her.
Weird.
How did you feel about that?
I don't even know how Jordan Grace got involved in this. Why is Kiera Hogan with...
Yeah, she was just thrown into the tag match at Homecoming, and they're just like, yeah, now we're friends because we tagged together that one time and lost. Which Jordan Grace should be pissed at Kiera Hogan for giving her an L column, putting her in the L column when she's so new to this company and she was such a dominant force for the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So it was a bit weird to see that,
because they did, right? They put Jordan Grace over as this mean, nasty powerhouse, right?
Yeah, and now she's best friends with Kiera Hogan.
Yeah, she's like, let's save your friend's soul.
How did you
I don't
feel about her using the Pentagon driver?
Yeah, I mean, got no problem with that.
Looked pretty nasty, but...
Yeah, moves are moves. But, I don't know. I mean, if Pentagon approved it, then, it is what it is. But, yeah, I just think that it's weird having her with Kiera Hogan in her corner. Why? Why would you do that to her? She doesn't need anyone with her. She's Jordan Grace. But, she picks up the win nice and easy. And then, I guess apparently Kiera Hogan has now given up on Ali. So why were you out there if you're just going to be like, no, I've given up on you?
And left her because they're best buddies.
The match went for about 2 minutes, too.
Yeah,
it was nothing.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. And then Rosemary shows up and tries to entice Ali away, but Ali backs away looking scared, as though she's seen a ghost. I was actually more convinced by Ali's acting this time than the first time they did this exact same bit.
Yeah, she's getting better.
Yeah.
Slowly.
But did this feel to you like WWE? We did this on the pay-per-view, but not many people watched the pay-per-view, so let's do it again on Raw so people get what's happening.
I also don't understand why Rosemary's wearing face paint if she's she's not the dark character.
But she always has.
Yeah, but it just it's
because she's always been the demon, but then her friendship with the bunny turned her light. But she was still the demon.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is change the colour on her face, if you get what I mean. Because
change the way it's done.
You've got black and white on Ali. On Dark Ali, should I say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ali Dark.
And Su Yung as well.
Su Yung too. There's way too much face paint going on in this women's division.
Just change her colour to red and black or something. So she's a demon. Instead of white.
Just waiting for Sting to show up and be like, I want to fight for the knockouts.
Let's fight for the knockouts face paint.
The kiss demon. He's like, I identify as a female now.
So he's got the long hair. So
of the knockout division. He's got the long tongue too.
Yeah.
Do you remember the Kiss Demon from WCW? Like,
Yes.
it's so bad. Oh, wow.
Don't remind me.
We should do a WCW throwback cast instead of this.
Oh, it's gonna start getting that way. Soon.
It's so frustrating because we were so high on it. We were so excited about
I was
it.
telling everyone. Now I feel embarrassed that I was telling everyone to watch it.
Me
week
too.
In, week out.
Me too. I'm like, Impact are doing really good things. You got to give it a shot. And I feel like a couple of people did give it a shot. Like Mikey started watching. You started watching.
Now Mikey's not watching.
Yeah. Yeah, Mikey made the smart choice of only temporarily coming on the podcast.
You got Jack of it.
No, but once again, if it gets too bad that I can't say anything good about it, I will stop doing the podcast. Like, I will.
Just chuck it in all the rest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I'll just cover the results.
I'll start doing MLW.
Mr. Mysterious might get a bit upset though if we just shuffle things around. You got Impact now. I'd be like, what? What is this? This isn't fair.
So Mysterious. I'm taking over.
No, we can't do that to Mr. Mysterious. He does like. Shout out to Mr. Mysterious. Does like fantastic work with our Facebook. He does. So many of the posts on the Facebook page and keeping us up to date on the news. He's brilliant. So I would not do that to him. I would. I'm trying to find Women of Wrestling though, which launched this week because I want to get that into all the rest.
No, I'm just patiently waiting. I'm lining up AEW. I'm just patiently waiting the wings.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be a long list of people who want to be on the AEW podcast. I've had people who listen to the show even message me and being like, "Oh, if you want someone to do a new podcast with All Elite Wrestling, let me know." And I might. We'll see what happens, but it's definitely more likely if those people are interacting with us via our Discord, which you can access through Patreon.
Yeah, that would help.
Just throwing that out there, because then I can see more of your opinions, get to know you better. You know how
see
it
how
is.
People are.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
January is here and we are fast approaching WrestleMania season. Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania are around the corner, so the time to dilly-dally is past us. If you want to experience WrestleMania live, and who doesn't, let's be honest, you deserve it. The best and really the only way to do it is with All Aussie Travelers. All Aussie Travelers are new to the wrestling travel package game, but they are veterans at travel, and they have put together a package that cannot be beaten. For less than $7,500, All Aussie Travelers are going to send you to New York, with return flights, airport transfers, full accommodation, and tickets to the WWE Hall of Fame, NXT pre-show party, NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and more. The coolest part about these packages is that for NXT TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown, you are going to be seated in your own private VIP suite, normally not available to the public. But All Aussie Travelers have you covered, man. They got this locked down. It has its own bar, it has its own bathroom access, and all the luxuries that a VIP box comes with, not least of which, of course, an incredible view for everything happening in the ring. All of this for under $7,500. They're practically giving these packages away, man. You'd be crazy not to check it out. So head over to All Aussie Travelers on Facebook. The link is in the show notes. And tell them that the B Plus sent you. And let's go watch WrestleMania in style. We should probably keep talking about the show.
Yeah.
So at this point, we're at 7,600 viewers. So it is on the incline. And then we get the Scarlett promo, right? About her talent search. And this, just like last week, Scarlett Bordeaux is where the ratings peak. So we hit 8,000 views throughout this Scarlett promo, and it never gets back to 8,000. Now, you'll remember we got to 11,000 last week during the Scarlett strip dance. But it kind of averaged 10,000 for the last hour. This 8,000 was the highest we got, and then it literally went steadily down. It didn't even go back down to 7,000 and stay there. It went down throughout the rest of the night.
Yeah, I hated this, by the way.
Me too. Okay, so Scarlett has ended her talent search.
Which has been going on for the past 4 months.
Has it been that long?
Or 3 months?
It's been a while, right? She's been doing it for a while.
Yeah, I believe it was November.
It started with her just scouting talent at the shows, and then she started asking for videos. And yeah, so she's made her choice, and she
Yeah.
chose
Herself.
someone who. Hey, I'm building it up. Hang on. And she chose someone who has more potential than anyone she's seen to be a star. She chose herself.
Boo.
Yeah.
I hated that.
This just reeked of Vince Russo swerve for no reason. Like, let's build up this amazing angle for 4 months. Let's get everyone. Like, it went too long too, right? Like, if it ended a month ago, it would have been better.
Yeah.
As long as they had a different ending to it than this. But then he's like, let's build this big thing up. Everyone's expecting us to pay it off with like some new debut or, you know, some hot indie star. It's her, bro. It's her. It was her all along.
She could have wrestled ages ago. Like, seriously.
Yeah, so she's gonna get into the ring, which is cool. Like, she's over. The crowd are digging it. And I'm pretty sure she's gonna be making her debut in Mexico, where she does work with Triple A, where, of course, she is aligned with Killer Cross, who we thought she was going to choose, and it would have been awesome and made more sense. Like, I talked about it and talked about how I don't want them to do the power couple thing. I don't want them to do the Johnny and Taya versus Killer Cross and Scarlett Bordeaux power couple thing. Power couple versus power couple. Ooh, doesn't appeal to me, right? But it would have been better than this.
I agree.
Because they already did the Johnny and Taya thing. And Killer Cross is involved in there, so it just makes sense.
And it would have had a story to build on, so...
Yeah, but instead, they pulled the rug out of the story they had, and they were just like, we lied, there's no story here, she's just gonna wrestle and manage herself. Like, cool. That's brilliant. Wasted my fucking time, Impact!
Yep. Just wasted everyone's time.
Yeah.
Disappointed.
But she's here to make wrestling sexy
I'm
again.
glad that she's making a debut soon, but could have been done ages ago.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, look, it's good to build things up, and that she's definitely over. Like, it's going to be good, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Then we get Moose vs. Cage, and we dip down to about 7,200 viewers throughout this match. Decent match. I didn't feel like it was the best that either of these guys can do. Is Cage working hurt?
I think so. He looked it.
He doesn't seem to be doing, like, he's not performing at the level he can.
Yeah. I noticed that too. He was, it was a bit weird, but who knows? You'll know soon enough when he's taken time off.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, you would think you would take time off after you lose the big title match, right? And then they can just spin the story of, oh, he's gone to reevaluate himself, kind of thing.
Maybe he
You know?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to work for injured. Maybe he doesn't care.
Maybe. Or maybe he's not working hurt. Maybe he's just not giving it his all because his contract's up in 3 months and he has his eyes elsewhere.
I wonder who.
I don't think that's the kind of guy that Brian Cage is. I feel like he's the kind of guy that would want to go out there and kill it. From everything I've seen of him, everything I've heard of him, guys that have talked to him and stuff at the World Series wrestling shows and everything. I don't think that's going to be the case, but, just throwing it out there is always a possibility.
Yeah, well, I think he'll be right. Like, if his contract does expire in 3 months, I think Vince McMahon will throw big money at him as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I just threw that out there, but yeah, Vince will pay through the roof for this guy because he will not want someone who looks like that and wrestles like that to go anywhere else. But I don't think he'd go with Vince because he's been there before.
Well, that's exactly right. It was a few years ago, and
he was in development, and he didn't like it. So
it did not work out whatsoever.
We'll see what happens there, but I mean, maybe I think the most likely thing is he's working hurt.
Yeah.
I seem to remember something about he had like an injured arm leading into Homecoming. I can't remember though. I can't remember the specifics. I probably should have looked that up, but it's very late at night and, Impact was bad, so I wasn't motivated.
Yeah, I think he's injured. It looked like he was injured.
Yeah. So then we get Taya. We should say that Cage ends up overcoming. So Moose does the whole, work on the limbs and stuff. I do like the fact that, like, when Cage is paired up against Moose, you can actually feel like Cage is in peril.
Yeah.
right? Like because Moose is an imposing man himself, and it's one of those things where watching this match, I realized, all the platitudes and everything are nice, but sometimes size does matter.
Yeah, they work.
You put
They work well together, I reckon.
Yeah, but like what I'm saying is, if you put Brian Cage in there with Matt Sydal, as great as Matt Sydal is at flying and at technical wrestling now, since he's switched up his style, I don't buy that Matt Sydal is a threat to Brian Cage, given their skill sets, given their size, given everything. Even a guy like Rich Swann, I just don't buy that he's a threat to Brian Cage. But Moose,
The only guys I see as a threat are Moose.
yeah,
and
Moose,
Killer
Killer Cross. Eddie Edwards, maybe. Eli Drake, maybe
Only
too.
if he's, yeah,
But because they're taller guys with a wider frame, and I feel like they can take more of what. It's not about what they can dish out. Like, I feel like little guys can kick hard, and little guys can take it too. But I look at Brian Cage, and when he throws himself at you, like, it's going to help to have a wider frame. It's just going to help.
That's exactly right.
But he ends up overcoming and gets the victory. So, they're heating him back up. He's probably going to go back for the title, at which point I'll be like, why didn't you just have him win it the first time? Like,
Power couple goals.
they should have kicked off the new year. New year, new champ. Right?
But it's Johnny Impact.
No. It's Johnny Impact is bad.
Johnny Impact, the fighting champ.
I like Johnny Mundo, but Johnny Impact is bad. He needs to be a heel, bro. Like, it's
I hope this whole thing's turning him heel, to be honest.
I don't know. In that case,
now
they're
he's
turning
got
Killer Cross
Cross,
face,
so-
like, into a badass face. It's weird. Taya's on the phone. She's talking about making her return. I think it's next week in Mexico City. So, that's interesting. I like that they're going back to Mexico. I'm hoping that the Mexico tapings will, because the last Mexico tapings were awesome, right?
Yeah.
Even though the story was on, it was going into Bound for Glory, wasn't it? And the story was on the downcline compared to where it was, but the tapings, the shows themselves were very entertaining.
They were awesome.
So I hope that happens again. Then we get Tessa Blanchard. Did this segment make any sense to you?
No.
I guess she's upset that she lost her title.
All this segment's doing is, to me, is Gail Kim coming out of retirement.
Yeah.
That's all this segment screamed at me. But Tessa Blanchard's now suspended, so...
Yeah, so she's backstage and getting interviewed, but she just starts attacking everyone, much like Brian Cage did earlier, which it's almost like...
So why does Brian Cage not get suspended?
Yeah, right? But it's almost like their writing has one mode at the moment, which is just, just angry. They lost, so they're angry and they want to destroy everyone, which it works for Brian Cage, having him come in and rampage everywhere. And it kind of, like, it does work for Taya as well, but having both happen on the same show, I don't know.
On the same night? Yeah.
Yeah, on the same night. And yeah, as well, it was just sort of like she lost her title, but Tessa is also kind of like, I'm the best athlete. I'm better than, it doesn't seem like she would really want to fly off the handle. Like, I feel like she would just be like, I need my rematch. I'm owed a rematch, and I'm going to show everyone why I'm the best. And she got lucky.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, I don't know. It's just getting lazy. Really lazy booking.
I'll agree with that. Definitely does feel lazy. And yeah, I mean, not as lazy as the Scarlet thing.
Yeah, definitely not.
But unless the Scarlet thing, just new theory quickly. What if that was just done out of necessity because they were going to bring someone in, like say like Joey Janela before he got injured was supposed to show up to answer the open challenge, right? At Bound for Glory.
Yeah.
The Eli Drake one. And so, like, what if it was meant to be like Joey Janela, or what if it was meant to be, Park or something, something like that, and then All Elite Wrestling just launched in January, and no one told Impact about this, and so their plans all fell through. Like,
I think you're grasping at straws, Greg. To be honest.
I'm just trying to give them the benefit of the doubt that they're trying here,
No.
Yeah, so she gets suspended by Impact Management, and Don Callis is like, that's a really good decision by Impact Management. It's like, way to pat yourself on the back, bro. We know you're Impact Management.
Yeah, so, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't defend them. They know what they were doing. That was a plan all along.
Then we get Trey versus Rich Swann. Trey, of course, I'm talking about Trey Miguel. But the announcer just called him Trey.
Maybe they're going the WWE way.
Please don't. Unless they're just doing it to take the piss. But, like, they just called him Trey. It was really weird. I guess I forgot they did cut a promo earlier in the night, right? Like, they had another one of their weed smoke promos, which is hilarious.
Yeah, they're always hilarious.
I disagreed with some people on Twitter because I can't remember who it was, but someone on Twitter was saying that, someone I like too on Twitter, and they were saying that don't do these weed smoke promos. And I was like, I disagree completely. I think they're the greatest thing about Impact.
They're awesome.
Yeah. I really enjoy the Rascals. I'm stoked to see them. In Adelaide.
They keep losing, but...
Yeah.
Lost again.
I have a feeling they won't lose in Adelaide. Feeling good about the Rascals in Adelaide. Are you going to come down to see them for the Iron Fist show?
I wish.
Come on, man.
The budget.
Come on. You gotta.
Yeah. I'm already going to UFC, so...
True. Are you going to see Eli Drake when he's in town in a couple of weeks? He's in your neck of the woods.
Where's that at? That's at, Dural, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a Dural, yeah. Future Wrestling Australia, yeah.
If it's on a Saturday, I will be going.
I think it's on a Sunday. I can't remember. It might be a Saturday. It's on the weekend. I know that much.
Yeah.
No, you should go, man, and you ask him, like, pay the $5 or whatever to get a meet and greet. $15, how much it is, and ask him, where are you going next? Because surely you're not sticking around with that.
Yeah, that's what I actually have to do.
Probably
told me to shut
take
up.
your phone.
Probably told me to shut up.
Take your phone. Record him on the sly.
That's what I should do. Actually, I'll get a video. Can you do a video of you saying Eli Drake?
No, just let him know that you do an Impact podcast and ask him if you can talk to him for 5 minutes. Just ask him a couple of like standard questions. It'd be great.
Like, you gotta pay me $100 now, champ.
Help us fill some air, Jay. All right, take one for the team. Because in case you can't tell, we're struggling to fill an hour on this podcast.
We'll get there.
But no, yeah, we'll get there. There's as well. James Storm is coming too.
No,
did you see that one?
I did not.
Today. That was announced saying Hunter Valley Wrestling, so he's closer to Newcastle. But yeah, James Storm is coming out for Hunter Valley Wrestling on March 23rd.
Wahlberg, or did I say Wood?
No, I didn't say who he's against. But I don't think Wahlberg works that territory. Wahlberg works Newcastle Pro.
Oh, that's right.
I don't think he works Hunter Valley. But I know Gavin McGavin's on that show. Slade Mercer. There's a couple of really good guys. Alex Titan.
That'd be cool.
But they're already all booked, I think, in other matches.
Imagine the fighting going on to verse a person like James Storm.
The feeling.
Like the arguments people would have. I want to fight him. No, I want to wrestle him.
Well, I mean, it's going to be up to the bookers, I don't think they're going to be arguing about it.
To
them. Yeah. All right, I filled enough time there. But yeah, the announcer's just calling him Trey instead of Trey Miguel, so that was weird. Rich Swann wins with a 450 splash. This was a really good match, though.
Nice fun.
I really enjoyed this match. At this point, we're...
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Christmas has come and gone, and with it, the disappointment of those Secret Santa staples, the shave kit, the sports hygiene packs, and seasonal socks is fading. As we roll on, though, into the new year, it's time to make resolutions. So why not resolve to look better in 2019 and get yourself the gift that keeps on giving and never disappoints? Threadbox. Threadbox is a subscription clothes shopping service which for as little as $40 per month will send you a box of personally curated goodies straight to your doorstep. I get the $160 package, which comes with over $200 worth of fresh goodies each month. Kept me looking fly for all my Christmas engagements this year. You get to communicate with the Threadbox stylist assigned to you by email regarding what it is you need, and they will tailor the box accordingly. And in the unlikely event that you don't like what they send you, you send it back, they will replace it with something new and make note of the things you don't like so that they can avoid that kind of thing in the future. Threadbox is a truly unbelievable service that no man should be living without, so head over to threadbox.com.au today and use our code TheB+15 when you check out to get 15% off your first box. Yeah, at this point we're down to 6,500 people.
Dropping and dropping.
Yeah, it's literally gone down every segment. So it started like when, you got the 8,000 for the strip, the 8,000 for the Scarlet promo, then you go down to 7,200 for Moose and Cage, 7,000 for Taya on the phone, 6,900 for Tessa, 6,800 for when she's getting suspended. And then, we're down to 6,500 come this match. So it's pretty bad. It's like in your last hour of the show leading into your main event, you don't want viewers to be dropping off.
Yeah, that's it. And they are.
And when you're airing at 10 p.m. going until midnight,
how many people are going to stick around as well? If they don't like the show, they're going to turn it off.
Exactly.
Especially at that time.
People want to go to bed. I mean, Josh Matthews didn't show up for the last 2 ad breaks. I'm pretty sure he went to bed because he was looking pretty ragged. No, he showed up at the end of the show, but he was looking really ragged. Him and his cat just having a hard time. He's just hanging out with his cat. It just had me wondering. I'm like, where's
Maddie
why
Rain?
isn't
Wasn't
Mama
it?
Rain showing up? No, well, she's under contract to Ring of Honor, so she can't show up on their Twitch. So instead,
he's got
he just looks like a sad, lonely 40-year-old man with a cat. Big ass house he lives in.
No,
I'll say that much.
No.
I don't know if that house was bought with the WWE money or if he's on good money with Impact, but it's a big ass house.
I'd say he'd be on decent money at Impact.
Yeah. Anyway, then we get the main event. LAX OVE.
Yeah.
Josh Matthews looked super tired going into this one, but he was trying to amp it up. And it was funny because he's like halfway through amping it up. We got LAX and OVE and wait, it's happening now. 1 second. It's a go. And then it cut off and it went straight back to the match. It was great.
Yeah, this match was meh. They've had better matches together.
They have, but I like this pairing. I like the chemistry. I think the Chris brothers are really underrated.
Definitely. And LAX are freaking on a roll too.
Yeah.
It's been a good while since they've lost.
Yeah. Has been.
So, Impact are really high on them. Very high.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I love LAX. They're one of the best tag teams in the world. But at the moment, they're in a 2-team division.
Well, that's true.
There's them and the Lucha Brothers. That's it.
Yeah. Well,
I guess no, the Rascals.
no,
The Rascals.
well, they need to make the Rascals start winning first.
Well, the Rascals are against Desi Hit Squad next week, so I'm going to assume they're going to win there.
If they don't...
God, if they don't win against Desi
God.
Hit Squad, they're fucked.
Oh, God. Rip the Rascals.
Speaking of people who are fucked, where was Willie Mack?
That's
on
what I
this
was thinking
episode?
too. I was going to say something before, but I forgot about it. Maybe he
Yeah.
had another date booked when they were recording.
No, because he was on the last episode, so he was there for these tapings.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I feel like, and I've heard this on other podcasts as well, so full credit to other podcasts I listen to. There's a couple of Impact ones out there. But I think this was PW Torch. They have the same view that I do with Willie Mack. It's very dangerous territory for him right now. It looks like he may be the new Trevor Lee.
Wow. I'd be running.
Just
running.
booked poorly. Yeah. But anyway, back to the match. LAX Lucha Brothers. Decent match, not their best match, but it was a good match. LAX versus OVE. Not the best match, but it was a good match. And LAX win, heading into next week's show from Mexico City. And then they bump into the Lucha Brothers backstage, and for some reason say, if you ever want another ass whooping, let us know. Again, this storytelling makes no sense, because you wanted us to believe that the story was, can these guys have a respectful match? And then right before the match, you pulled the trigger on, they're going to have a blood feud now. We're going to make them hate each other. They're going to break up. And even though we didn't know that they were family before, right? It had never been referenced. Conan is with LAX here, but he's affiliated with the Lucha Brothers in MLW. So, there is a link there if you're a person who watches everything, but you can't assume that about your fans. It's just so weird. So there's no link between them, but all of a sudden they're family, but they're fighting, and it's going to be a blood feud, but then they end up having a respectful match, and then they shit talk each other backstage after winning a match because
No reason.
Reasons?
No reason. Just want to shit talk.
It's
We don't
weird,
like you
right?
anymore. We're just going to shit talk you. After you held our hands up and we hugged for 10 minutes in the ring after homecoming.
You know what it is? Chelsea Green is doing the writing. I'm convinced. The writing is all over the place. It's almost schizophrenic. It's very worrying because I want Impact to do well, and they're in a position where they, it's sink or swim this year, man. I really feel like it is. With everything going on in the industry.
Because the independent scenes have starting to heat up now.
Well, no, it's been heated up for a while, but the top end with, like, the non-WWE top end is really heating up. Because clearly, with AEW stepping into the mix, MLW and Ring of Honor have both gotten, permission from their investors to spend more money. Because, Ring of Honor signed Bandito, right? Who All Elite Wrestling wanted and WWE wanted. And Ring of Honor signed him. So they were able to compete with AEW and WWE money. So Sinclair are sinking more money into Ring of Honor now.
Well, they need to.
Yeah, and so it's... Yeah, apparently Impact are offering big money too, right? Because Jericho said he was offered a very good deal from Impact. And he just wanted to go with AEW. He thought he could, make more. They're looking to change the world, right? And he thought that he could do that more there.
Yeah.
He could make more of an impact in All Elite Wrestling, I guess. But so they obviously have money to play with too. I don't know what's going on in Impact, man. I'm worried. I'm really worried.
I'll see how they go.
Yeah.
8.5 months till close.
Yeah, but we might have to sign up for a Twitch channel. Have you seen the news?
No.
Apparently on Twitch you can do this thing called a co-broadcast. So when someone else is broadcasting, like Impact, you can host them on your channel as well. And you can talk over the top of it. So if we were to sign up for Twitch, when they go live for us, it's a Saturday afternoon. When they go live, we could host them on our Twitch channel and then we could commentate over the top of it.
So we can
and they're allowing this. In the past, they would have taken it down.
We can be Impact commentators.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we can
Shoddy
just...
Don Callis. You can be Josh Matthews.
We could just constantly yell at it, like, who booked this shit?
You can be Josh Matthews. I'm Don Callis.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't even know where to start. But that's the thing now. Twitch streamers are allowed to commentate over the top of it. So, I guess next week will be interesting to look for other people that are streaming Impact and
That's
see
pretty
what
cool.
the other commentary sounds like. Are we muting the main one and going over to other ones just to see what people are saying?
Yeah, that's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool idea.
It's a cool gimmick, but whether it will actually translate into more views and more money for the company, I don't know, man. I don't think it will.
No, it won't. Definitely won't.
But it's still cool. It's nice that they're doing that.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, that was my little news piece. And other than that, it was a decent Impact. Like, the in-ring action was fine for the matches that they actually let be matches. Obviously not the women's match, not the opener. But everything else was fine. It's just the creative is odd at the moment.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know where they're going to go with this direction, but I guess we'll wait and see.
We will wait and see, and we will be here next week to run you down everything that happens in Impact, and it's from Mexico next week, so high hopes. High hopes.
High hopes.
We are the Positivity Podcast.
No, we're not.
High hopes. We are. Just commit to it, Jay. Commit to it.
I'll try.
Where can people find you, man?
Just at Twitter at The Regular.
And I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at The Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else except for Patreon, where it's just patreon.com/the B Plus. Could there be more than wrestling coming? Well, that depends on you. If you jump on and support us, we're going to grow this thing beyond yours and my wildest imaginations. Getting Aussie Graps, that's our main focus, of course, is getting Aussie Graps out there to the world. Every dollar that comes in through Patreon or through ad money, I should say that too. Patreon gets you ad-free episodes. So if you don't like the ads, if you don't like hearing me talk about Threadbox and all that sort of stuff, then, the Patreon's for you. And if you, ad-free episodes, bonus episodes, all sorts of cool stuff you can get. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. Sorry for this one being low energy. Like I said, it's late at night and we kind of, it is what it is. But thank you so much for listening.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Yeah.
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it. Dummy. Yeah. Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family grudungle.